Hey, I'm Sam. Welcome to Brickwall Pictures. Today I am reviewing Hedda, which is in contention for some nominations this award season.
Hedda is fine. What have you learned?
That before you were domesticated, you were like fire.
Could you tell us the events of the evening up to the incident?
Even though the 2021 Candyman reboot had plenty of problems and was ultimately just okay, director and co-writer Nia DaCosta still made a good first impression with me. I have yet to see her debut feature, Little Woods, but it's on my radar. I found myself hoping for a longer director's cut of Candyman and planning to check out whatever her next movie was. That ended up needing to wait because her follow-up project was The Marvels, and I have no intention of ever watching another MCU movie. But now, after her foray into the massive blockbuster sphere, DaCosta is returning with a significantly smaller, though still expensive-looking, outing with Hedda, a revisionist adaptation of the 1800s Henrik Ibsen play Hedda Gabler. But the plot of Hedda Gabler was unfamiliar to me going in, even though it has been adapted to film many, many times in the past. The basic setup is that the titular Hedda Gabler, played here by Tessa Thompson, putting on a mostly convincing, though occasionally distracting British accent, she throws a big party with manipulative machinations. Among those present at the party are her new husband, a current affair, her former lover, that ex's new partner in both writing and romance, and a professor that everyone wants the attention of. This central love quadrangle, or maybe love pentagon, provides the main dramatic heft of the film. But it takes a bit too long for all of the players to be placed on the board. The opening act of the film is the weakest, and it largely feels flat and lifeless. The film seems to overestimate what intrigue would be generated by its flash-forward framing device, which teases a crime and mystery before jumping back to start the story proper. While not entirely ineffective, this opening framing device comes across as cliché more than it being a strong hook. A lack of a compelling dramatic conflict, humor that misses more often than it hits, and an odd, breathy, recurring audio cue that feels tonally at odds with the film. It sounds like it's straight out of a bad horror movie. It all left me feeling thoroughly unimpressed with the opening act. The first half hour or so did nothing to pull me in dramatically. Thompson does a fine job, and Hedda herself is certainly a big personality, but I didn't find her particularly interesting as a character. However, she does stand head and shoulders above the rest of the characters in terms of intrigue. That is, until Nina Hoss enters as Eileen Lovborg.
Eileen. Why did you come here? To make sure I didn't love you.
Hoss single-handedly elevates the film the moment she appears. Not only because she's a great actor, but also because she brings with her some juicy, dramatic conflict that was lacking throughout the opening. That's not to say there's no drama in the opening half hour of the film. There is, it's just not that compelling. The Lovborg character, however, is extremely compelling. This character also marks one of DaCosta's major departures from the source material. In the original play, and in all of the many past adaptations of it, Lovborg has always been male. The decision to make Lovborg a woman, and by extension to make Hedda bisexual, is a major and meaningful change. It's far from being the sort of frivolous gender swap seen in projects like 2016's Ghostbusters. Given the olden time period in which Hedda is set, Lovborg being a woman who is an author and a teacher is already notable and unwelcome enough for some characters to stir up conflict with them. Never mind the fact that she's an out-of-the-closet lesbian during an extremely unaccepting time, to put it mildly. This change also plays well into the film's themes and makes the romantic entanglement that Hedda has with her husband, her affair, a man, and Lovborg all the more dramatically complex. Lovborg and the dramatic tension that she has with her ex, Hedda, and her new love, Thea, which is played by Imogen Poots, that keeps the film crackling along throughout the entire middle section. Which makes it even more of a shame when the movie then leaves her on the sidelines for the climax and instead pivots to center on a less developed and less interesting character, who is pitted against Hedda instead. Sadly, some of the goodwill that the strong middle of the film earns is then squandered by this rushed climax that is certainly thematically appropriate, but it can't rise above feeling cliche all the same. Hedda was sent to me as a for-your consideration screener this award season, and it's clear that the film is aiming for Oscars attention, But will it get it? Well, I think it's a long shot, but it is certainly possible. Does it deserve Oscars' attention? That's a better question, right? And actually, I would say yes. Nina Hoss absolutely deserves a Best Supporting Actress nomination, which is the acting category that I found to frequently have the fewest great candidates in any given year. That's a problem with the roles available, not the performers. You could also send a Best Costume Design nomination Lindsay Pugh's way for her work on the film, and that would also be well-deserved. Hedda, rocky and uneven, but overall still worth a watch if this sort of story appeals to you. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you want more movie reviews and video essays and whatnot, you can subscribe here to Brickwall Pictures, or you can check out my newly launched website. There's a link to it down in the description. If you want to support the channel, you can join the Patreon, where you get early videos and bonus videos from time to time, as well as insider updates and little things like that.